Does the $50 bill have a cryptic message concerning the Oroville Dam? Now, popular conspiracy theories claim that the US $20 bill portrays the Twin Towers, as shown here, and the Pentagon, as shown here. Could the 50 also have a message encrypted or hidden in it as well? If you notice, the 20 is folded precisely as the 50 is. And as you see these pictures, this looks identical to the spillway. Striking resemblance, anyway. And if we look, the word OROVILLE is Spanish for gold. So it essentially means gold. If we look at this symbolically, what does a dam breaking loose have to do with gold and the state that our nation is currently in, and events that are rapidly coming to a head across the globe? Could it just be coincidence? Or is there something more to it? I'll leave you to decide. Moving forward, here we have a map of the weather. As you see, we have a developing storm off of the Pacific coast, and another one down here, moving directly towards the Oroville Dam. You can see the Oroville Dam from as far up as right here. This is it right here. See how big that body of water is? So as we move in, they're predicting 2 to 3 inches of rain. And it changes as you move in and out, so you really can't judge it by this, but take a closer look here. Here is the spillway, and it has come to my attention that on the day that this breach occurred, there was an earthquake located in this area right here. And what is located in that area right there is a stone quarry. There was a 2.2 earthquake that emanated in this stone quarry. And what that tells me is that this was not a natural event or a cause of neglect, although there may have been neglect. There was a specific thing that triggered this. And it just so happens to be the largest dam in the US. So again, I ask you, what does this signify? If anything. Maybe it doesn't signify anything. Maybe all these coincidences are just stretches. I leave you to decide. Regardless, the world is watching and waiting for what happens in the next couple of days with this dam, so we'll have to just see what happens. Moving forward, the reports that we have had of this Russian ship off of the coast of Delaware. As of today, it was changed to 2 Russian ships, and they said that they were 30 miles from the coast. So, as I came down here to look where these ships were, this is marine traffic. This is a real-time updated log of all the ships that are coming in and out, all the marine time traffic. And as you can see, all these ships have names. They're all labeled. Everything is labeled. Fishing, tanker, cargo, tanker, cargo. So, as you can see, there's nothing in this Delaware area. Bunch of fishing boats, tankers, and military. So, as I continued to scan looking for this ship, I made my way up the line. And as you can see, all of these ships have names. Then you see this ship sticking out. It doesn't really look like the rest of them. It has a different color. Unspecified. So as I continue looking, because I was aware there was 2, sort of looking around, none of these, and we get to this unspecified ship. Now this one looks 30 miles off the coast, and as you can see, there are U.S. ships positioned all around this port of entry. So, believe that I have found our mystery spy ships, but they're not in the location that we were told they're in. They're 2 states, they're supposed to be 2 states below. So, as I live in this area that's on the map as we speak, I recall an event 2 days ago when I first heard about these ships. And it's a large fireball. Now, this is fake news, but we can catch some pieces of what's going on through it. It says, multiple reports of a fireball in the sky seem to confirm a passing meteor near the North Jersey, New York City area, reports. The incident happened before 12:45 p.m. Eastern Time, according to eyewitnesses who reported seeing an object that resembled a meteor near the Philadelphia Navy Yard facility. According to witnesses who called Fox, reports of the incident also surfaced on Twitter and Facebook. The American Meteor Society contacted and said they had about 20 reports from the spotters during that time period. Most meteor sightings are at nighttime, so the spat of reports during the day was unusual. The likeliest explanation is a large meteor, a space rock hurtling through the atmosphere, passed eastward over the North Jersey, New York City area. North Jersey, New York City area. What do we have in the North Jersey, New York City area? Well, here's New Jersey, here's New York. So this is the North New Jersey, New York area. Right here, right? So, if we go straight out, what do we have here? Okay. It might have been 5 feet in diameter with a weight of more than 5 metric tons, judging from reports that it blazed as bright as a full moon, NASA scientist Bill Cook of the Marshall Space Flight Center told Philly.com. He also saw the object, which he described as majestic and beautiful, but with an estimated speed of about 33,500 miles per hour. It's fortunate the fireball didn't hit anything. My crude estimate of the energy of this fireball is about 100 tons of TNT, which means it was capable of producing a crater 125 feet in diameter and about 15 feet deep, assuming an impact into sandstone, Cook said. Such meteors are a regular occurrence, but this is the most recent intruder was far larger than typical shooting star passing through our atmosphere. At night, even a grain of sand can be seen, causing a bright streak across the sky. So I ask you, if this was a meteor, and it was large, then why did we not have it detected on the NASA site that monitors close meteors and incoming space debris, and just there's no name assigned to it. It doesn't say that it's asteroid WC whatever. There's no name, so it's obvious that they didn't detect this coming in, and that's odd because there's been a lot of so-called meteors and stuff going on. And ironically enough, 2 days ago in California there was a drill where multiple people saw we have this missile that was launched in California. Bright light in Northern California sky was a test missile. San Francisco. Bright light with a glowing tail spotted in the San Francisco Bay Area sky Tuesday was a Navy missile test that had been in the works for years. U.S. Navy spokesman John Daniels told the East Bay Times that a submarine off the coast of California launched a Trident II D-5 missile at 3:30 a.m. and another at 6:20 a.m. Daniels said the routine test was not in response to any ongoing world activities. Gee, why would he say that? And that tests are conducted for training and maintenance of the missile system. He said the missiles fly over water and not over inhabited areas. The Trident II is a Stage 3 missile with a 4,000-mile range. Daniels said residents likely saw Stage 1, which lasts about a minute, and possibly part of Stage 2. That's that. So they felt it necessary to tell us that this was not in response to any ongoing world activities. Oh God, they assured us of that. Then let's just Let's see, this was the 14th. We have the 13th. Russia deploys missile in apparent treaty violation. Russia violates Cold War arms treaty with missile launch. Here we have Russia sends spy ship near U.S. coast. Deploys banned missiles at home, officials say. This was on top of the drill that they held last week, as you recall. A Russian spy ship was spotted patrolling off the east coast of the United States on Tuesday morning, the first such incident during the Trump administration. And the same day, it was learned that the Kremlin had secretly deployed controversial cruise missiles inside Russia and flew within 200 yards of a U.S. Navy destroyer, U.S. officials told us. The Russian ship was in international waters, 70 miles off the coast of Delaware, and heading north at 10 knots, according to one official. Well, if you look over Delaware here, heading north, that would explain the location of our ship. They're on the move. Okay, what are you seeing? The Russian ship was in international waters, 70 miles off the coast of Delaware and heading north at 10 knots, according to one official. The U.S. territory line is 12 nautical miles. It was not immediately clear where the ship was headed. Later, Tuesday,
there is a Russian spy ship now patrolling off the coast of there. For the first time now since President Trump took office, we are learning here it's a spy ship off the coast of Delaware moving about 10 knots an hour. Where it's headed, we don't know. Just quoting one official, he said the following is not a huge concern, but we are keeping our eyes on it, end quote. And so will we as in the Pentagon.
So, later Tuesday, a U.S. official confirmed to Fox News that Russia had deployed ground-launched cruise missiles to 2 locations inside the country. In December, the New York Times first reported that the Obama administration had previously seen the missiles, then a testing phase as a violation of the 1987 treaty between the U.S. and Russia that banned ground-launched intermediate-range missiles. But Russia has pressed ahead with its program, apparently testing a Trump administration which has sought better ties with Moscow. But it is also fresh off the loss of National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, who resigned Monday night in the wake of a scandal surrounding his communications with Russia. Adding to the aggressive actions, Fox News confirmed a report from the Washington Free Beacon that 4 Russian jets buzzed the USS Porter in the Black Sea on Friday. The destroyer was roughly 186 miles southwest of Crimea and roughly 50 miles off the coast of Romania, a U.S. official said. The jets buzzed the destroyer over a course of several hours, the official said, without specifying. A Russian Il-38 maritime patrol aircraft came in first, followed by 2 Su-24 attack jets and then a single Su-24. All approached low and fast, the official added, saying the ship was conducting routine operations in international waters. The USS Porter made repeated radio calls to the Russian jets, but the calls were ignored. The jets had their transponders turned off, the official said. There were several incidents involving multiple Russian aircraft. Navy Captain Danny Hernandez, spokesman of the European Command, told the Free Beacon they were assessed by the commanding officer as unsafe and unprofessional. The ship, the SSV-175 Viktor Leonov, last sailed near the U.S. in April 2015, an official said. It was also seen in Havana in January 2015. Capable of intercepting communications or signals known as SIGINT, the ship can also measure U.S. Navy sonar capabilities, a separate official said. The Russian spy ship is also armed with surface-to-air missiles. It's not a huge concern, but we are keeping our eyes on it, one official said. This action by the Russian military follows recent missile tests launched by Iran and North Korea. In the past, Russian spy ships have loitered off the coast of Kings Bay, Georgia, home to U.S. Navy ballistic missile submarine base. During the Cold War, Russian intelligence-gathering ships routinely parked off U.S. submarine bases along the East Coast. In September 2015, another Russian spy ship was spotted near the U.S. outside the submarine base in Kings Bay. Outside of U.S. intelligence-gathering satellites monitoring the Russian spy ship's voyage north, there are several airborne platforms along the East Coast that can be used by the U.S. military to monitor the Russian ship, according to one official. Currently, there are 4 U.S. Navy warships in the Atlantic off the coast of Norfolk participating in normal training, but none have been tasked with shadowing the Russian spy ship. There are no U.S. Navy aircraft carriers nearby. The USS Eisenhower, an aircraft carrier, is currently off the coast of Florida doing carrier qualifications with young pilots making their first landings. Ike does not currently have strike aircraft. Last April, Russian Su-24s buzzed the USS Donald Cook in the Baltic Sea, flying as low as 30 feet above the ocean and coming very close to the American warship. So we have America telling Russia that, well, first of all, we have strong interest in returning Russia to compliance with the treaty. And the Russian Federation remains in violation of its INF treaty obligations not to possess, produce, or flight test a ground-launched cruise missile with a range capable of 500 to 5,500 kilometers, or to possess or produce launchers of such missiles. Who are they to tell Russia anything about what they're going to do while we're firing them the day before and we're telling them not to? Like, this hypocritical bullshit. If the latest administration showed us anything, it's that ignoring these kind of provocations simply means they will proliferate, he said. I've said before, we need to set firm boundaries for Russia's behavior and enforce them to the hilt. I take this news as evidence that the U.S. should build up its nuclear forces in Europe. This is from CNN. Yeah, send more nukes. Add more nuke to the fucking pot. Why don't you? Because Fukushima isn't melting down, getting their revenge on us for World War II right now, and contaminating the entire United States. We need more nuclear weapons in Europe. We need to bring this arms race to a head and, destroy the world. So we have test missiles being fired off the coast of California. We have strange fireballs in the exact location of 2 Russian spy ships that are based within a bow shot from shore. We have just all these things that are coming together. We also need to remember that Russia not only extends from the Atlantic Ocean, but it goes all the way around to the Pacific. And Russia's on both sides of us. So I believe that, with all these testing of missiles and all the things that are going on, they're sword fighting right now. It's like shadow boxing. They're shadow boxing right now, and it's only a matter of time before this gets instigated. And to top all of this off, we move to this report. Breaking news. Obama's secret bunker found 3 miles from the White House with terrifying find inside to take down Trump. Following Trump's inauguration, we had all hoped that we'd seen the last of Obama, but we very quickly learned that that wasn't the case at all, as this man is quickly turning into a hemorrhoid who refuses to leave the backside of America. That's funny. Well, shortly after moving on to his new home, aka the new headquarters, just a mere 3 miles down the road from the White House, we soon realized that Obama wasn't simply going to drive off into the sunset, never to be heard from again. Now, with a way to keep close tabs on his minions in D.C. and run a shadow government, we're learning more about, shadow government, we're learning more about what Obama has been up to. Now a horrifying plot has been discovered to take President Trump down with the help of 30,000 of Obama's minions who are foaming at the mouth at a chance to take the man who they so vehemently despise. You can be sure that the man who worked so hard to infiltrate our White House isn't going to simply roll over and let his entire legacy be flushed down the toilet by Donald Trump. Now, Obama is kicking his skills as a community organizer into high gear as the mastermind behind many of the violent anti-Trump protests that we continue to see unfold around the country. But unfortunately for us, it gets much worse. Obama plans to take down President Trump is not only extremely violent in nature, but he shockingly already has 30,000 people in place to do his dirty work. Paul E. Sperry is a well-known right-wing author and political commentator working as a political pundit for the Hoover Institution, a public policy think tank. In a recent tell-all in New York Times piece, Sperry reveals the unsettling truth of Obama's evil plans, not just for America, but for taking down our new president by any means necessary. Here's part of his article from the New York Post. When former President Barack Obama said he was heartened by anti-Trump protests, he was sending a message of approval to his troops. Troops? Yes, Obama has an army of agitators, numbering more than 30,000, who will fight his Republican successor at every turn of his historic presidency. And Obama will command them from a bunker less than 2 miles from the White House. In what's shaping up to be a highly unusual post-presidency, Obama isn't just staying behind in Washington, he's working behind the scenes to set up what will effectively be a shadow government, to not only protect his threatened legacy, but to sabotage the incoming administration and its popular American First agenda. He's doing it through a network of leftist nonprofits led by Organizing for Action. Normally, you'd expect an organization set up to support a politician in his agenda to close after the candidate leaves office, but not Obama's OFA. Rather, it's gearing up for battle, with a growing war chest and more than 250 offices across the country. Unfortunately, this isn't just Sperry pulling a tail out of his ass. The connection between these violent protests and Obama has already been made, and after it was recently revealed that Obama dumped a massive amounts of money in tune of $400 million at violent anti-Trump groups on his way out the door. While we can be thankful that we have a president at the helm who truly loves America, we must continue to stay vigilant. There are so many people out there gunning for our new president, determined to do whatever it takes to undermine him and make his life as president as difficult as possible. Be sure to share this story and help expose what is going on. Now, they have forced Flynn out of office. Now we're moving into the coup part of this. I had been, reporting on this coup since it started, and I was under the impression that Obama was not just going to go quietly, which he is not. And as we see, moving on to this story, some of these cases of withheld information, officials have decided not to show Mr. Trump the sources and methods that the intelligence agencies use to collect information. The current and former officials said those sources and methods could include, for instance, the means that an agency uses to spy on a foreign government. U.S. intelligence says it is intentionally concealing information from the U.S. president. This is WikiLeaks. So, I ask you this. When an elected official, who is the commander-in-chief, the person that these agencies answer to, the person that we elect the constituency puts into power to control these agencies that are tools at his disposal, and when that organization defies the president and refuses to turn over information, who is running that organization? Who's making those decisions? And who has the power and the arrogance to deny the president his job? This is an act of treason by our own government, and it screams civil war as this coup intensifies, and they forced Flynn out, saying that, because he went and told, a Russian official, just wait until Obama was gone, instead of reacting, trying to keep the peace, trying to save Americans because of the radical Islamic terrorist that was basically usurped, the presidency and instituted all these different executive orders and just completely changed everything about this nation, and sent millions of dollars on his last day, tried to sneak millions of dollars to the anti-Trump protesters, as it just said, and to the radical extreme, we'll just say leftist Muslim movement, because this is ISIS and all these groups were funded by our government. So we're the ones who gave them the guns and the money. And Hillary, is responsible for this coup in Turkey, and the taking out Gaddafi and destabilizing Syria, when they had the strongest thing going with the dinar or the gold-backed currency, and just all these things that are taking place right now, kind of put you in a position where you have to really sit and think about what does all this mean? What does all these things mean? Now we have former NSA employee John Schindler says, now we go nuclear. International community war going to new levels. Just got an email from senior international community friend. It began. He will die in jail. Joe Walters at 20 Committee. I can kind of guess, but what do you think is going on inside national security right now after Trump's intelligence tweet this morning? This shows you the state that we are in right now, and that state is very dire at this moment, and there are a whole lot of dominoes that are about to fall, and reviewing the facts, pertinent details. It started with the 9/11. It started way before 9/11. Speaking of 9/11, let's pull this back up. After the cryptic Vault 7 post by Twitter, which has been basically interpreted as another huge file release coming that shows clues of having to do with none other than this post I just found from the 5th of February that they retweeted. So here are the 9/11 towers. So we have a bombshell, literally, coming from WikiLeaks, apparently very shortly, which is going to blow 9/11 wide open, and there are going to be a lot of angry people that have family members that were involved in 9/11, and they find out who was responsible. We have Russia seizing Crimea. We have thousands of troops at the Russian border. We have been shipping armament to Germany to distribute along the border. We have our cruisers and our ships patrolling the Baltic, the Mediterranean, the Black, all the seas out there. We have Russian planes pushing back, allegedly harassing our ships. What are our ships doing in Russia's backyard is what I want to know. What in the hell is United States ships doing on the opposite side of the United States? Which is why Russia has their ships stationed outside of our cities. Then we have these drills where they're test firing missiles on each one of the coasts. We have fireballs just appearing out of nowhere by Russian ships. And the largest dam in America is about to break loose. And the OROVILLE Dam is about to break loose too. So, I really don't have to lead you to any conclusion on this. I think that the conclusions are pretty strikingly obvious. That's for all you guys that like talk shit, leave comments. Sour. Oh no, I might see an alien fly by. Anyway, trolls will be trolls, and seekers will find. So, for the seekers, let me know what you guys think, and might as well just sprinkle this as an ending with a little bit of Fukushima radiation. Like, or maybe I just got the munchies. Either way, maybe I'll sprinkle this with a little bit of Fukushima radiation and top it off. So there you have it. There's our shit pie for the night. And if you feel like subscribing, go for it. If you want to throw a thumbs up or a thumbs down, you can do that too. Signing off.